I'm Richard Hofherr, the guitarist for Seventh Heaven. I moved to Des Plaines when I was two in 1972, and I loved it. It was a great area to grow up. All my friends that we had in the neighborhood, we did a lot of cool things. And Mike, the drummer that's in the band, I met him in the third grade. We were 7, and we were like, we got to get in a band one day. We went to Brentwood Elementary, and I said, one day we're going to get in a band. We used to draw pictures of Kiss on the desk, and then the teacher would make us stay after to wash it off with that paper towel. The brown would never absorb anything. It just shifted the. So we were saying we're going to be in a band one day like Kiss. And we were little kids, 7, 8 years old, and then and it was surreal when we played with Bon Jovi at Soldiers Field. I turn around and I look at Mike and I'm like, I guess we're doing what we said we were going to do.
Too much fun, Chicago.
So we always wanted to be in a band, and growing up around music. There used to be Big Apple Records. Remember Big Apple Records that was over there on Golf in Elmhurst? And we used to go there all the time, and I'd cut the grass and earn money and then go over and buy a record. And I'd be like, I love music. I gotta be in a band one day. So I wanted to play guitar since I was probably 2 years old, And then we started the band in junior high. We went to Friendship Junior High in Des Plaines, and there was a thing. Our art teacher Tony Keys was awesome. And he had a project that we would go and none of us could play at the time. We were too young. But in art and in shop class, in shop I built a guitar, a little Eddie Van Halen guitar that looks like that one. And I built the guitar, and then in art we put on a rock concert where we would all lip sync against, back then there was a show called Putting on the Hits. And people would go on the show and kind of lip sync and perform, and it was kind of a cool thing to do. But it taught us about how to market the show, perform the show, and do stuff. And then we said, we can really play. Let's do this for real. And that's how Seventh Heaven started. Because Mike was already playing drums. I just learned how to really play guitar, and then I did, and then that's how the band started. So we're a pop rock band, pretty much we transcend multiple generations, and I think we appeal to people that want to go out and have a good time, have fun, rock a little, dance a little, sing a little, and I think people come to our shows and have a great time. For a couple hours they get to escape their work or their health or relationship, or they just want to have fun, they want to get out and dance, they want to do whatever they want to do, meet other people. And our shows kind of create that great environment. So that's what it consists of in terms of the environment and what we play. The guys in the band, our singer's Adam Heisler. He's the singer. He knows how to play every instrument in the band. He's a really talented guy. Myself on guitar, Nick Cox on guitar, and vocals. We both sing backup vocals. Mark Kennitz on bass, he sings as well. And Mike Bouchan drums, and Mike's who I started the band with. Mike is the one who came up with the band name as well. It means a state of perfect happiness, and it comes from the Bill Haley and the Comets' Rock Around the Clock song, which we put in the set last summer.
So, obviously you're from Des Plaines.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be playing at your hometown?
I love it. I love playing in Des Plaines because I see all the people that, not all, but a lot of the people I grew up with that I went to school with. I had gone to 3 different high schools. I went to St. Viator, and then I went to, there was no girls there, so I had to go to Forest View. Then I went to Forest View, and then Forest View closed, and then I had to choose between Prospect, Rolling Meadows, or Elk Grove, and I went to Elk Grove because that's where all my friends were going. And then going through junior high and through elementary school and going through everything that I did there. I played baseball and football, soccer, basketball. I was very active. It was an Indian Guides with my father. And so you get to meet people. And when you get to meet people in the community, it's nice. We play about 200 shows a year to about 1 million people. But in Des Plaines, when we play in Des Plaines, I generally look out and see my neighbors, people I grew up with, their parents, the friends that I know. And It's nice. It's nice. It's nice, for me to get a chance to see them, because everybody, when you get older, your lives get busy, and it's nice that you get a chance to pause for a second and revisit some friends.
Perfect. So I know you talked about playing all these shows a year. So just take me through a little bit of like a typical year, a typical month for the band.
Sure. So in the summer months, June, July, August, and September, typically we play about 6 to 9 shows a week, and sometimes we'll play 3 shows in a day. We've played 5 shows in 24 hours. We've played 3 states in 24 hours, and so we play a lot of shows, and we're acclimated for that. We could not do that without a crew. And our crew is an integral part of our success. The crew helps us so that we're not lugging all the equipment, and we can maintain our energy to play 3 shows in a day. And it's demanding on a day where it's 98 degrees and humid out. It's demanding. Sure. So our first record we released, we were. I remember in 1989, I was 19, and I came up to my mom and dad. They were both laying in bed. I knew they were winding down for the night. I said, "Can I get my college money and use it to record a record?" and my mom and dad just looked at me and they're like, "Fine." And so we did our first record. It was Little Time Has Come, a little cassette, and it was a little thing. It was fun, It sonically didn't sound what the singer and I wanted it to sound like, but it's fine. We're 19. What do you expect? We're 20 years old.
Oh man.
But we've recorded. I've written about 4,500 songs, and Seventh Heaven has released about 800 songs to market. So we're some people don't know of Seventh Heaven from that angle. They know of us from our 30 songs in 30 minutes and from our medley standpoint on covers, but we had a 700 song original jukebox, and we've charted on the Billboard charts with 4 hit songs, and we're on rotation. We have a 5th song that just entered radio that's going on now for through the summer. We might hit with another song too. So, and we get played between Bruno Mars and Katy Perry and Taylor Swift on those stations, 101.9, 102.3, 105.5, 96.7. Those are some of the stations that play. So we've been played on the Loop and XRT, but not those stations not in rotation. And so we've done all right, and we've sold a lot of records and we've toured, but now we just want to stay around and be local. We have families, and that's what we want to do. We would rather stay here and do what we do in Chicago and then sleep in our own beds at night, When we were younger, we toured. We're not young anymore. Well, we still feel like it sometimes.
Yeah.
So you went to the old Taste when it was all volunteers, right?
Sure.
You went to that event.
Yeah, sure.
As a young person,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any memories of that, and like saying,
So
hey, I want to be on that stage.
yeah,
someday.
so growing up, the festivals are around. The Taste was around for a long time, and you growing up, and you'd see, I'd go there, and if they had a band, I'd stand out in the crowd. I go, one day I'm going to be on that stage playing. I used to see that a lot, and then. And I would always want to play. I mean, I've always been a person that would rather be on the stage performing than in the crowd watching, And so that's why we're pretty aggressive with our shows. I'm lucky and fortunate the other 4 guys in the band feel the same way and they want to play. So, that's hard in itself too. Some people don't want to play out as much as we do. I mean, it's definitely physically demanding and it eats your time when you're not home and you're not around your family, you're not around your friends. And you're playing all the time, you miss things, but it's fun. But growing up in Des Plaines, I don't know, it's funny because like some of the things that Mike and I, when we were little kids at Brentwood, would talk about doing and dreaming of, we do today, which is such a surreal thing, to have a dream and then to execute that is an awesome experience for sure, ironically, doing Seventh Heaven started in 1985, and so we're going on 32 years. And I stayed through the band the whole 32 years. And the positive that's come out of that has been other businesses evolved out of that, and other opportunities started creating for themselves. Seventh Heaven employs 25 people that are on our payroll, and now we have a building, and we have a whole bunch of assets that we have as a company. We have $100,000 of video wall, light, and laser show that we invest in, that we bring to certain shows if the stage is large enough and allow it. And out of that, we started needing things. We needed a record, label to release our stuff, so I started a record label. We needed a publishing company to license our songs. I started a publishing company. I needed a website and graphic design, so I started doing that. So those little particles started, and then events. I started running some events. I have 14 corporations that I own, and most of them started because of Seventh Heaven. If Seventh Heaven wasn't there, I don't know. I might have still done some of them, but not all of them. I manage other bands and help other bands out in our ecosystem, and I do a few other things. We have a cruise that we go on every year. I've turned it from the Seventh Heaven Cruise to now call it the Chicago Music Cruise. And this year we had 230 people go on it this last January. And we are already in our trajectory to be at 400 to 500 people. I added more bands. Ryan from Windy City Live's coming on, Scott Childers of 96.7, Tim Smith of Walter E. Smith Furniture, Sealed with a Kiss, Hillbilly Rock Stars, Dance with Janet Group, and I might add a couple more particles to it, and we're all going on. There's Jim and Becky Obos come out and shoot photos for everybody to remember their memory of their vacation. So I started a travel agency to facilitate that. I started a credit card swiping company so that when we're selling merch, we can swipe our credit cards and sell our products in the middle of a field when we need to accept credit cards. I started flipping houses, and I do a couple other things, but most of my companies got started out doing videos. I started doing video work as well. We needed music videos, and so I started doing TV commercials there was an offshoot because Seventh Heaven needed music videos. So Seventh Heaven really catapulted a few of my other businesses, and not only helped me, but a bunch of other people have jobs and have things to do and revenue coming in. So it's really benefited. And for me, I call it an ecosystem, and most of my companies are vertically integrated, but they really are. I could work with a band like Serendipity. I manage this band. I write songs for them on the publishing company. I release it on my record company. I manage the band on my management company. I put them on my festivals on my event company. I do their videos through my video company. And I make their products through my branding company. I order their merchandise. We'll hold it at our warehouse. And that all would have never happened if it wasn't for Seventh Heaven. So Seventh Heaven has definitely catapulted a lot of businesses in that way. It's pretty cool.
Wow. That is
That's pretty amazing.
That is, absolutely.
I had no idea that you were that involved. I mean, I knew you managed some of those other bands.
Yeah, I have 14 corporations that I own that are currently active, and each one of them I have particles of people that I employ and work with me on, and they're all, when I say vertically integrated, the only ones that aren't vertically integrated would be like the real estate stuff, investing in real estate. But they're really the byproduct of the profitability of other companies for me to invest into something. Banks don't give a good rate, so I invest in other ways, and through real estate and investing, those are better ways to invest. And that all starts with Seventh Heaven. And so, if Seventh Heaven wasn't successful, I don't know. I might still have some element of success of that, but Seventh Heaven has helped that, and I think it's helped everybody in the band and crew. Like, as a team, we're a family. We really are truly a family. My father works the merch. My wife works the merch. Ryan, who's the head of my crew, who's my cousin, he's marrying the other merch girl. My other cousin, Dino, is our front of house guy. He's my cousin. We're Italians. I'm Italian, Irish, and German. So, and my Italian side is pretty crazy. My great-grandfather, Vito Shemeka, had 46 children with 2 wives. So there was over 750 living Italian relatives when I was a little kid, and so there's a huge family. So when I say it's a family, not only do I have cousins, and it is a family environment. One of my other crew guys, Joe, met Tina, who was working at our merch on one of the Seventh Heaven cruises. Now they're married and they have children. Our fans go on our cruises, and if they some of them go on the cruises as single, they're not with anybody, and then by the time I get off, now they're dating, and then they're married. I'm like, what just happened? This is the Love Boat. But it's fun, we're having fun. We're not a competitive band, but we don't trash talk any other bands. We just enjoy what we do. We're not out to size up against anybody else. We just want to stick to our business model and be successful with what we do. And we're not motivated by money. We're motivated by success, by accomplishment. And when you achieve the accomplishments and you can wear them on your sleeve, they never leave you. Money comes and goes, fame, popularity, those things come and go. But to accomplish something takes you to another level because it's a personally fulfillment that stays with you forever. And even when you die, it stays with you. People will remember that you accomplished these things. They'll forget how much money you had. They'll forget how famous you were. Forget all those other things. But if you've accomplished good tasks, then it's worth doing, you know. And that's why I think I'm still doing this band at 46 years old, going on 47.
Hey, as long as you're having fun.
I love it. What a great life. Come on.
Say that again.
Perfect. I love it, you know? And that's why we don't tour anymore, you know? We want to enjoy our life. We want to enjoy our families, our friends. We want to enjoy things, you know? Because we sacrifice a lot. In the summers, we don't get a chance to see a lot of them. So by living at home, just imagine if we took Sabbath Heaven on the road. We would never be home, you know? We never. And I look at that life and I question whether is that successful? You know, yes, in some people's eyes, you're known by more and more people, but you're not around to enjoy life. You're really just a pawn in the world. You're not enjoying your life, seeing your friends or being around your family, watching your children grow up. Watching my children grow up is the number one thing to me, you know. I want to be their dad, you know. I don't want someone else coming around going, oh, your dad's busy. He's on the road. He's a rock star. I don't want to be a rock star. Okay, let's cut these vocals.
Who you call? Ghostbusters!
So, I have about 70 guitars. My favorite ones are these ones back over here. They're Fender Custom Shop Showmasters. They're handmade, and they play really well. But I use all of them for different purposes, for different recordings. You know, I do TV commercials, so I use different guitars for different styles of music. But they're like this old Les Paul, I use this a lot on our records. This Les Paul, this Strat, that Showmaster. You know, sometimes it's
truly vintage ones.
This one is a vintage one. These guitars in this room, most of them are around $2,000 to $3,000. That Les Paul on the other side of this pillar that you can see on this side of this pillar, that one, that's a $5,000 guitar. That one is that's a Supreme, and that's an expensive guitar. I don't even care about that. I just like the way they look. And I don't even play these guitars ever. I bought these because these were the guitars of the idols that I liked growing up, the 80s hair bands.
Right.
That's what I grew up with, you know? So it was guys in Rat and Van Halen and Dawkins, Motley Crue, George Lynch. I mean, Warren DeMartini was a huge inspiration to me. So that's why I got those guitars, because I used to look at them in magazines and go, I want that guitar. I want to play in that. And so I'm like, one day when I make some money, I'm going to buy it. And well, here we are, you know? I bought them. And these keyboards all do different things, so I don't have them, you know, they're all separate purpose. Some are vector synths, some are samplers, some are PCM wave. It just depends on what they're used for, but I use them for different scoring purposes and for our tracks we use with Seventh Heaven and on our records. Like I play on our records, I'm the keyboard player, but on stage I don't play keyboards because I want to play guitar. I'm known for throwing guitar picks. Everybody knows I'm the guitar pick guy. I go through about 150,000 guitar picks a year, which is crazy.
To Rick Nielsen.
So it's a funny story. So this is I'm known around Chicago for being the pick guy, you know, and people always ask me, where did you get this from? I go, it's not my idea. It actually came from Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick. In 1979, Mary Jane Byrne had a Chicago Fest, and it was at Navy Pier, Grant Park area, and Cheap Trick played it, and it's slam packed. And I go see this band, I'm like, why is that guitar player throwing things? What's he throwing? You know, I was 9 years old. What's he throwing? And they're like, his little pick things, his plectrums. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what is that? And so then I kept watching this guy. He keeps throwing these picks, you know? And I'm like, I go, why does he keep throwing the picks? And I'm like, but I want one. And I don't even play guitar at the time, but I want one, you know? He did like, 5 or 6 guitar necks. And I'm like, what's it? So then I'm like, this is crazy. So when I got older, I'm playing, and I'm like, oh, I have the pick thing. And I just threw one out, and I saw all these people jumping for it, like I just threw money out, you know? Like, boom, there's gold. And I was like, I need that. And I was like, wow, that's really crazy. That was just like a 50-cent guitar pick, you know? So I started throwing them again and again and again. And I started realizing that people were going crazy for these guitar picks. So I started throwing them a lot. Now I throw them all the time. I go through 150,000 of them in a year. So Dunlop is like, you do go through more than Metallica. You order more than Metallica. You're our largest order of guitar picks. And so then we play, ironically, full circle, we play with Cheap Trick. So I'm playing with Cheap Trick. I'm on stage throwing out picks. Who's behind me throwing a guitar pick? Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick. I go, this is pretty crazy. And I go, this is your fault. And he goes, what? So I throw picks at him back. Playing catch with picks. I got a picture with him, of him and I holding our guitar picks laughing. But that's a pretty funny story because I was like, this is very surreal. Because you're the reason why I'm throwing all these guitar picks.
That's awesome.
So funny.
Oh, man.
So funny. In displays.
In this, what I'm saying, at the taste displays.
In displays.
At the taste displays.
At displays.
Displays, Illinois.
In displays. Hi, we're Bon Jovi. We're not Bon Jovi?
You got a lot of splaining to do.
You have a lot of displaining to do. You have a lot of display.
That explains it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That explains everything.
Displays.
That displays everything.
Is there gonna be an outtake reel of this? It's gonna be a really long commercial.
You guys are here all night.
All right, that's fine. We are going to be here all night. That's actually pretty true.
Of course.
I mean, are you ready? Ready, guys? Come on.
Go for it.
Tape's always ready.
Hi, we're Seventh Heaven.
Come see us Friday, June 16th at the Taste of Displays. We'll see you there.
In displays.
Displays!